When you overshoot your turn and your skills suck like mine do, this is how you turn your bike around. Grab it up on the side stand and then whip it around like that. Oh, yeah.
Huck to and spit on that thing.
I can ride my bike with no handlebars.
Greetings, moto guys and moto gals, and welcome back to the 333. Knee deep into the 2024 riding season. Yeah, it's been a while for me, right? Attaboy, dig in. Yeah, let's go. All right, so I kept my promise to not vlog. You know, I don't know, what can I say about moto vlogging? Here's one clip that sums up moto vlogging for me.
The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
Yeah, and anybody who's a Star Wars fan knows about that shit show, and that's all I'll say about that. So yeah, so that's pretty much been it. You know, trying to get myself back in shape, riding, you know, pretty much every weekend, not vlogging as promised. So why am I vlogging today? Well, in general, I've seen a slew of new, you know, adventure riders and a lot more people who are, you know, shifting over to ADV bikes. And I don't know how to put this nicely, but man, some of these new riders are just getting it so wrong. You know, I'm not a dick that way. There is no real right or wrong to riding. I mean, I think there's some rights and wrongs, better practices, better things to do. But, you know, everybody's got to ride their own ride. I guess my motivation and my thought, especially when I vlog, is I look at it from the perspective of, you know, I'm an intermediate rider. I've been riding since, you know, what, 2017, 2018. And I've been doing the ADV thing since, I guess, really like 2019, 2020. So I've got about, you know, 3.5 solid ADV seasons. I've made enough mistakes to know when I fucked up and how I fucked up and what I did wrong. And I guess the perspective that I have is, you know, if I can share some of those stupid mistakes I made and share some of that shit that I've done wrong, and if you're a new adventure rider and it prevents you from doing the same stupid stuff, then I say, like, mission accomplished, right? So my topic today is 5 essentials for successful adventure bike riding. Let's get that out of the trail, shall we? I think we'll be a good Samaritan. Let's do that. Yeah, nice and sandy. Look at this sand, man. Wow, holy crap. Not messing around today, Pineys. All right, let's see. This is what's called a murder tree. I've invented that term for myself. It's any tree that is sticking out into the trail and has like these Mad Max spikes on it. And I should be able to cut that with my tree saw. Let's see. Sugar sand is banging all over South Jersey Pine Barrens today. So yeah, so it's been quite a stretch for me. But fear not, I have been riding my ass off this year, more than I ever have. Been getting out a lot. I started my season about late March. This is a folding tree saw. Highly recommended for your adventure bag. This stuff's like paper. It's all chewed up. This tree saw makes pretty quick work of it. And so, yeah, so you can see this is hollowed out from all kinds of shit. I should probably cut it back a little further. Oh, man, look at this. I've noticed a lot of these murder trees sticking out here lately, and they're bad news. Because if you lose it in the sand and you land on this, yeah, you're probably gonna get hurt. think you're gonna go soon. Let's see if I can kick you now. Yep, there you go. All right. That's my good riding deed for today. All right, so, essential number 5. We're gonna work our way backwards from the least important to the most important. Okay, least important, number 5. Number 5 essential for adventure motorcycle riding. You need a bike. Yeah, right? Pretty stupid. You're sitting there looking at your screen going, really, dude? That's number 5, I need a motorcycle? Let me hang on that for a minute and talk about it more. Okay? Do you need a $15,000 adventure bike?
How about no?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Evil. That is the correct answer. Do you need any branded adventure bike to come out and do this kind of shit? The answer is still no. You need the bike that is right for you to do the type of riding that you want to do. All of our riding is adventure riding. And that's why, you know, I talked about this when I did my 3-year review on the T7. You know, don't get sucked into the marketing hype of adventure riding. These companies now, these big companies that are selling these bikes, KTM, Yamaha, Honda, Ducati, like, they're marketing a lifestyle, man. I'm kind of glad I made my peace with sand, because it would be not a fun day today if I was really like hating sand, I'll tell you. All right, let's do it. Onto the asphalt. It's like a day at the spa. All right, so that is essential number 1. You need a bike, and you need the right bike for you. You could be like this crazy kid on the Goldwing, who's absolutely fucking hilarious. And this just goes to show how awesome the Goldwing is, right? If you've had any doubts that the Goldwing is like one of the best motorcycles ever made, watch this video, man. This kid is just twerking this Goldwing, man. You need the right bike for your adventure. You don't need the quote-unquote adventure bike. You need the right bike for your adventure. So there's a difference, man. And just keep that in mind. Essential number 4 is gear. Yes, because about the most questions that I get, either on Instagram, direct message to me, or sometimes in the comments here on YouTube, is I get questions about what kind of gear I'm using. I get little flashes of it on the GoPro when I'm looking down, like at my hands and stuff, sometimes in my mirror. So I want to spend a minute, against my better judgment, because I don't like to be on camera, I'm very camera shy. I will try and see if I can do sort of a full second camera shot of myself sitting on the bike, and I'll try to give you sort of a once-over of what I do, you know, what I use gear-wise on the bike. Starting at the top, Shoei Hornet adventure bike. Do you need an adventure bike helmet with a bill on it? Dr. Evil?
How about no?
Are adventure bike helmets worthwhile? Are they good? I think they are, especially on days like today where it's really hot and sunny. You're riding down this kind of stuff, sandy fire road, all I really have to do is tilt my head down, and it's kind of critical safety-wise, because you want to be able to distinguish holes, puddles, mud, washouts, that kind of thing easily. And so if you can keep that glare out of your eyes, it's very helpful. Working my way down, this is the Klim tactical vest. I've talked about this thing. This thing is fantastic. It's got hydration in it. It's got the you know, the military style MOLLE pockets on it. This is the best piece of riding gear that I own, bar none. It's better than any jacket I've owned. I love this thing. It's protective. It's made out of real thick, I don't know if it's corduroy nylon, but it's really thick. It has about maybe a half inch of padding in it as well, so it does have some protection to it. So I wear that. Underneath of this season, I've been wearing the Moscow Moto you know, adventure jersey. I don't know what model this is. They just introduced this last season. It's super light. Okay, the jersey by itself is not protective, but if you see these black patches, these are corduroy nylon patches. So they're thin, but they're shred resistant. And then under the jersey, I have CE rated elbow gear. So I have these sleeves that have CE rated elbow pads, and I also have this sort of like athletic heat disbursement shirt that has like that block, you know, foam padding on it. So it's on my shoulders, and I got a little bit of padding on my back and my chest under the vest. All this stuff breathes. The air is blowing right through it now. It's a super hot day out. I'm not too bad. You know, it feels pretty good. The breeze, it gets a little breeze, comes through. It's not bad. Lower gear, all slide resistant, all CE, Klim, D30 hip, D30 knee. I wear a Velcro strap to keep the knees in place just in case I go down. The critical part of your lower gear are these boots, right? Let's talk about boots for a minute. So I don't know if I'm getting that on the camera, but these are your standard OG Alpine Star Tech 7s. I don't think you can really see it. Maybe you can see it from the GoPro angle. The inner on this boot is like a ski boot, okay? So this inner side here is like it's really heavy and thick. These boots are not easy to walk in. When you first get them, you feel like, you know, spaceman, you feel like you're on Mars. And you sit there and go, how in the hell am I going to ride my motorcycle with these boots on? Because they're so stiff and uncomfortable. It takes 3 rides to break them in, right? 3 off-road rides and shit like this, and you'll break these boots in, and you will never want to come out on your bike without them again. The boots have to protect you from the bike. Like, that's the thing. There's 2 things that these boots need to protect you from. Number 1, they need to protect you if your foot comes off. They need to protect your foot from twisting weird and getting caught in shit. Number 2, they need to protect you if you drop the 470-pound or 500-pound, depending on what you're riding, adventure bike on your foot. That's what they need to do. So get the right boots. Invest in them. Trust me, invest in them. Okay, so I got on my soapbox about that. I'll leave it to you. Decide on whatever boots you're going to ride. Tech 7s are a great boot. I love them. Okay, last thing. These are the Mechanics wear gloves, right? They're made by Mechanics, a company called Mechanics, and Mechanics wear. And these are the Impacts. Mechanics makes protective gear for first responders, you know, blue-collar iron workers, guys working in machine shops, truckers. Okay, they make protective handwear for those folks that work those tough jobs, right? As a side benefit, the same gloves have proven to be the best off-road gloves on the market. I've tried every glove out there. I've been looking for the unicorn glove for the last 2 years, but you can't beat these gloves, man, by a mile. They are the best kept secret in adventure riding. Go check them out. Mechanics wear. You know, I don't have sponsors. I don't have people that give me shit. I just like shit. When I find like little hunks, little nuggets of gold like this, I like sharing them because I love finding stuff like this. I love companies that make really good products, that stand behind their products, and that don't overcharge you an arm and a leg. So do yourself a favor, get a pair of them. You can't, even if you don't like them, they're 40 bucks. You know, so I don't know. Do yourself a favor. So that's my gear setup. All right back into it. So item 3 will be, and this is the literal and figurative 600-pound gorilla in the room. I would classify it as physical health and fitness. The more fit you are, the more strong you are, and the more that you've kind of prioritized your health, the easier this activity is. This is a physical activity. It is hot as balls out here today, right? I'm sweating my ass off. I'm working on the whoops. I'm working through this freaking sugar sand all over the place today. It is a physical activity, man, right? It is not really an activity to engage in if you have any sort of outstanding health issues. Again, I don't stand in judgment of people, right? I was battling my health issues through the winter, my back issues, my fitness issues, my blood pressure was through the roof, my cholesterol was through the roof. And, you know, what it came down to was, man, if I want to keep riding like this and keep really taxing myself in a physical way out here, I got to get my shit together, man. Yeah. Again, I'm not getting on my soapbox. I'm not preaching, you gotta work out 6 times a week and you gotta drop 40 pounds and if you don't do it, you're gonna die. No, man, you just gotta get yourself in some level of fitness because there's all aspects of this activity that are physically taxing. This is the Big Bertha, man, and it's like bone dry today. When Big Bertha is dry, it's hot. No Big Bertha today. It's gone. If you're struggling with your health, if you're struggling with your fitness, If you get really overheated quick, you know, you have a tough time breathing out in weather like this. You know, that could be a potential life-threatening situation if you get yourself into that. If you're not, you know, if you're not monitoring your health and taking care of your health to a certain degree, and then you go out and really try to exert yourself, you know, you're gonna hurt yourself, man. So yeah, so that's why I put health and fitness at number 3, because I think it's worth talking about. The number 2 essential for successful adventure riding is your technical skills. And how you acquire those technical skills is one of the questions that most new riders ask a lot. I can share, you know, obviously I've shared my journey on here in acquiring technical skills. It's not easy. It takes time. It takes time in the seat. It takes making mistakes. It takes crashing, dropping the bike, fixing shit, breaking shit, fixing shit, breaking shit. There's no secret to it, right? There you go, attaboy. For me, my advice, what I did in order to start acquiring skills and start practicing is, you know, I did my research kind of online first. I used Google Maps a lot. I talked to people who were familiar with the area, like the Pine Barrens in general, and you know, I did my homework and I tried to find, you know, a spot that would work for where I could practice. And what I ended up finding was, you know, some empty fields that were, you know, maybe had a little bit of asphalt, a little bit of gravel. They might have been, like, say, an abandoned business's parking lot that hadn't been repaved and was turning mostly over to sand and dirt. You want to get on a surface that isn't going to be grippy. You want to get on a surface that's going to have give to it. So you want to get on a surface that's either going to have gravel, sand. As scary and as stupid as that sounds, especially, you know, coming from, you know, street bike world, you always try to avoid those surfaces. When you're trying to learn how to master an adventure bike and how to control an adventure bike, you want to find those surfaces and you want to get comfortable on those surfaces on that bike. The one thing that will ramp your skills up almost immediately is taking an adventure biking riding class. You know, I've taken 2 rounds of adventure riding now with the Pine Barrens Adventure Riding Club. Fantastic group of people, excellent instructors, really important good skills to learn, all the basics, all the fundamentals, and you'll be in a safe environment where you can try stuff, and that's most important. Oh yeah, look at this shit today, man. Oh, woo! All right, man, I feel like out in the middle of a freaking desert today. Holy smokes. Oh yeah, even the orange sand's deep today. Look at that stuff, man. Holy smokes. So for new riders, the guys online that I highly recommend, Brett Tax is awesome. He has a whole boatload of technique videos. I think it's Eric from, I think, Ride On Adventures, another one. Really great technique videos. And one of my favorites, Dusty Russell, man, he's awesome. He's back doing videos. He just changed over to a Norden 901. Awesome bike. And of course, if you want to get inspired, Adam Ryman is the man. Adam Ryman is hands down making the best adventure riding content on the web nowadays. Hands down. Technique is the second most important essential. And you've got to have solid technique on adventure bike. And the number 1 essential to adventure biking, in my opinion, is 1, your mindset, 2, your awareness, and 3, your preparation. So that's a 3-parter for number 1. It's 3 parts. And they're all mental. Awareness, preparation, and mindset. You will not have a positive, good experience adventure riding unless you get into the adventure riding mindset. What is the adventure riding mindset? It is the mindset that when you leave your house on this bike, you accept the fact that you may crash, you may break the bike, you may do stupid shit, you may drop it, you may struggle to pick it up in sand, you may be out here in the middle of the Pine Barrens cursing your ass off. You have to get into that mindset that that is part of this whole experience. Because if you don't get into that mindset, it is going to be a long, arduous day for you. A very long, tedious, tiring, sweaty, aggravating day. And the next time you look at your bike, you're not going to want to take it out. And you'll be one of those people who I've seen on YouTube who literally goes out and buys a brand new bike, a brand new nice adventure bike, and then sells it like 3 weeks later because they can't ride it and it's too difficult, and they're just not enjoying it because they've not shifted the mindset. Number 2 is awareness, and this is where it gets controversial, and this is where some of the things I've seen, especially on some of the bigger popular vlogs, make me wince. And my perspective on it is that these people are more lucky than skilled. Okay, controversial, I know. I sound like I'm condescending. I'm not. Okay, these people have gone out, put themselves in really sketchy, difficult situations, and have had to get, you know, like rescued by other people, and just sort of happened across other people who've rescued them out of really bad situations. I have a problem with that type of riding. And the third part of this is preparation. If you're not prepared to come out and ride, you know, you're going to potentially put yourself in a bad situation. And there's multiple vloggers that are taking this approach where they just go, oh well, I'm just going to go see what happens. I'm sorry folks, I don't believe in leaving stuff to chance. You can't prepare for everything. You can't have a solution for everything. Stuff can happen really suddenly. But, you know, I believe in, you know, you don't go out and try to hunt a bear unless your gun's working properly, right? Same thing with riding an adventure bike. You don't come out here in the middle, you know, I'm 50 miles into the Pine Barrens. I haven't seen another soul all day. I've seen 2 helicopters fly over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to resort on myself if I have a problem out here, and I have to find my own way of fixing it. And I'm not saying that I'm prepared for every single problem I might run into. I'm not. But man, you know, I see these people who are vlogging who they don't even have the basic toolkit that came with the bike with them when they're out riding. You don't want to leave stuff to chance, and you want to have an awareness of where you're going, what the area is like, what resources are there, what potential technical riding hazards you might run into. I mean, you have to have preparation and awareness. If you can't pick the bike up confidently by yourself, does it make sense to ride 50 miles out in a remote area where there's nobody who can help you? No. So, just to sum up, our 5 essentials for adventure motorcycling. Number 5, you need the right bike for you, for your adventure. So you don't need the bike that the talking heads on YouTube tell you to buy. You need the right bike for your adventure. Number 4, you need the right gear. If you get nothing else, make sure you get the right foot protection. It's really critical. Number 3, you want to consider your physical fitness. Definitely not something to overlook. Number 2, you need to work on your technique. Especially if you're just starting out, you're new. Like I said, training classes, always a big way to jump up your technique. Definitely finding a place that's non-paved where you can safely practice is definitely a big help. And lastly, number 1, you want to consider mindset, preparation, and awareness. Really, 3 big, really important factors to adventure bike riding. So, that's it. Not sure again when I'll vlog again. Probably won't be for a while. I've been focusing on the riding, which is much better than vlogging. And on that note, peace out.